Sweet. See you guys later.
Well, just how did you feel about your performance today in the scrimmage?
Good, yeah. It felt good to get out there and do that scrimmage type deal. It's fun to run through the motions, and so game day is not the first time. It's good to get used to all that stuff and where I'm going to be on game day, what part of the field, and all that stuff. It was fun, yeah. I feel like I played well. It just feels like those scrimmages sometimes feel cut short, you know what I mean? Because you're trying to see everybody in, and yeah, so it was a good day. I thought it was a lot of fun seeing guys step up.
If there was a game next Saturday, do you feel like you'd be comfortable to like go in and be able to operate offense against a different team?
Yeah, probably, yeah, for sure.
Last week you talked about being able to pick up blitzes or calling out blitzes for the first time since being here, and that you're just getting better with every rep and whatnot. How much of a step forward do you think you took today, and was there anything specifically that you've gotten more comfortable with this offense?
Yeah, I mean, I could go down the rabbit hole if you want, but that would just take too much time. But like just the offense and the checks built in, this offense is pretty awesome. The way Coach Carter can build so many different things into one play call. There's a lot of times walk from line scrimmage and there'll be one play call called, and I can get to 3 or 4 different plays. There'll be other times where we call 2 plays and we can get to whichever one is going to be good versus what. And so like I feel like I'm more comfortable this week than I was last week in doing all of those things. Like today I checked a play and then I reloaded it back up and we ran it and scored a touchdown. So like, yeah, more comfortable every day.
Someone else said he gave you the most credit for your check down on third and long instead of trying to go for the home run and making a mistake. That's a lot more games are lost than won. Just what was your thought process?
Yeah, games are lost on third and long, truly, especially back to your own territory like that. Like we didn't have a first great 2 plays of the first drive. We didn't, and that's football. That happens. Sometimes guys on defense are going to make plays, and it's good to know that our defense is going to be able to make those plays. In a couple of weeks, and so knowing it was like 3rd and 18, we were just kind of seeing if we can run seams by the defense. But I don't know if you guys saw they lined up. The linebackers were about 15 yards off the ball. Safeties were 20 yards off the ball. So there was no shot at that from the beginning. So I told the back, Mo, right next to me, I said, hey, just get out here. I'm going to dump it to you, get what you can, and let's go. So, the way I see that, I mean, that's I think they're like 12 yards on that play. That's 12 yards further of a punt. That's setting our defense up to pin them 12 yards further back. And now we're going to get the ball back 12 yards further up. And so that's the fun part about being able to play this game as long as I have is you get to know all the ins and outs of that. And it was cool. Summerall being who he is. I think, he gave me the most credit of anything today on that play right there. He pulled me aside. So that was cool.
So I don't think a lot of people would pick Garrett Monahan as a likely starter when you're just meeting him yourself. But he's doing some.
Yeah, do some great things.
What do you like? What makes him so effective out there?
Yeah, I mean, he's the ultimate grinder, man. I think he was a high school quarterback to come in, move to receiver, and just grind away for I don't know how many years, but he's been here for a while. He predates Summerall, and so like for him to just see the fruits of his labor, we talked about that a lot in our team meeting. One of our core values is discipline, and discipline often the fruits of your labor come later on than right away. I mean, when you're getting into a routine, whatever that is, whether it's eating healthy, lifting a lot, or whatever it is, like you don't see the results in day 2, 3, or even 6 or 8 or 10. Like you see them months down the line, and for him, years down the line. So it's awesome. He's just an example. He's the poster child of that discipline, what it takes to go play at this level.
What's this cramming process, been like? You've been cramming ever since you've been here. You talked about the late nights and all that. What's it like now with the season approaching just a couple weeks away?
I'm excited. Because the whole cramming process was all designed to be before the season. And so that's where it is. And so, I'm looking forward to be kind of out of that. And I know that from the beginning. It's kind of like discipline I was talking about. I'm going to cram all this now. So when it comes to the season, I'm going to be relaxed and be able to show up every day with a little, less stress. It's still the urgency of game week, but it's less stress of what other things are going on outside of my control. So.
Someone also mentioned earlier this week that by game week it could be easier for you because then there's a specific game plan that every single thing has been thrown at you. Or how much are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I was talking about that with somebody else today. It's like we go out to these scrimmages and coach said we have ready sheets for every install, and that's just the plays that we could possibly run. And he's like, yep, anything's game. Anything on the ready sheet, that's game. Be able to know it, and that's. I wish I had one in front of you. I could show you. It's a paper, and it's probably like in the first couple installs, it's probably 50 plays each install, and then it gets less and less all the way down. So it's a few hundred plays at least to say. And so like knowing that we're going to a game week, knowing I'll be able to see what the call sheet or the menu looks like going into the week, and then throughout the week seeing it develop, it's going to be so much easier. I mean, they'll say the first 3 words of a play, and I'll know the rest. And that's kind of what you need to be prepared for game day.
I know you mentioned like with the comfort of the offense and loving the options, right? How many other offenses maybe, or is this offense unique in like kind of all of the things that you can do within a play or formation, like from your perspective and from all of the schools that you've been at?
Yeah, I've been in a lot of offenses. I've been, like, this is my fourth college offense I think I've been in. So, I think my first one at Golden West College, I had a lot of control. That was the relationship I had with the offensive coordinator. I'd known him since I was little. I had a lot of, the last two spots after that, I had a decent amount. I think here is probably the most autonomy at the line of scrimmage, because Coach, we'll be in meetings and Coach will pause a clip before we run and be like, hey, what's really good against this defense when we're in this formation? And it's like, oh, this run, Coach. And he's like, check it to that. Like, let's run that, because against that defense, the play I have called is no good. And so, yeah, just stuff like that where it's like you can come up with something, and formations have built-in checks. And it's cool. I love it. Playing this offense is fun. I knew it was going to be fun when I first started learning it from Coach Collin and Coach Craddock. Like, Coach Craddock's excitement about this offense is super fun to see. Like, when he came in and Coach Collin would taught me most of it, but then Craddock would pop in here and there, and his excitement about plays and his excitement about how he would manipulate defenses and manipulate the formations and stuff like that was cool to see. And so, like, I'm feeling that way now after learning and going through the entire camp. So I'm excited for the season.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jake.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.